If you are watching this, welcome to the fifth dimension. Here in the realm of fifth dimensional creation, manifesting your desires differs from the conventional idea of physically obtaining it through time and space, matter to matter, or working for what you desire. Instead, it involves the combination of crystal clear intention, coherent thoughts, and a harmonious brainwave pattern coupled with a concentrated emotional state. As these elements converge, your thoughts become electric, enveloping you in a magnetic field. This magnetic core materializes into an energy conduit that propels your intention out and effectively imprints a new signature onto the quantum field. Remember, dimensions are all on the same plane, and it is divided in terms of vibration. It is not a spatial concept. Understanding the mechanics of fifth dimensional creation relinquishes you from the need to go on a physical journey to obtain your desires. Rather than chasing after aspirations through conventional means, you pull the desired experiences towards you by collapsing the constraints of space and time. You become a vortex, drawing in experiences when there is a vibrational alignment between your energy and the latent potentials residing in the quantum field. By consistently revisiting this energetic signature, which is the good feelings of the high vibrational states, opportunities such as new employment, housing, or relationships naturally gravitate towards you, for you become the magnetic force. You are the money. When we are truly immersed, having fun, and doing what we enjoy, our brainwaves are at an elevated state. It means going beyond who you are. You forget about yourself, where you are, and what time it is. You become pure thought. This special way of being, this elevated state of generous presence, unlocks a myriad of possibilities in the quantum field, and your brain and body gets in line with the present moment. Achieving this heightened state demands effort and dedication. The majority of individuals are entrenched in three-dimensional creation, where the manipulation of matter with matter is the prevailing paradigm. For example, the pursuit of a desirable and high-paying job involves the submission of countless applications, attending numerous interviews, and enduring protracted waits for a potentially unfulfilling position. Similarly, seeking a life partner or effecting life changes entails an investment of time and effort, following a linear trajectory through time and space. In this three-dimensional reality, time stands as a crucial factor in the process of materializing desires. The manifestation of aspirations requires the movement of matter through space, a progression that unfolds over time. For instance, owning a house often involves committing to a 30-year mortgage, necessitating a substantial period as well as time and effort to fulfill. By redirecting your attention from the focus on physical matter, objects and particles towards an awareness of energy and space catalyzes a remarkable transformation. As awareness expands, brainwaves transition from beta to an alpha state. Not just an arbitrary alpha state, but a highly coherent and organized pattern. In this coherent state, the once imaginary world becomes palpable and real. Typically, stress prompts the mind to jump from one worry to another, with each element having a specific neural network assigned in the brain. However, as one learns to broaden their focus, the brain adapts, synchronizing and unifying different compartments in the psyche. This synchronization forges connections within the brain, optimizing information processing. Numerous studies with proven measurements on our brain confirm this phenomenon, indicating that a coherent brain brings in an overall coherent mental state, whereas incoherence in the brain mirrors a lack of harmony in one's mental state, therefore translating into a reality of lack. Notably, during our work, a pivotal moment arises around the third day. This marks the synchronization in large areas of the brain, cultivating a sense of unity. Communication between the left and right hemisphere of the brain intensifies, and the front part of the brain aligns with the back, ushering in a state of whole-brain coherence. This transformation manifests in our interactions with individuals, often accompanied by tears of joy as they experience a profound sense of completeness, rendering the concept of desire seemingly irrelevant. The enchantment of these moments unfurls as we monitor brain activity through measurements on a strip chart, observing patterns spiking abruptly, followed by a brief pause. This pause signifies the reception of downloads or insights from a higher source beyond our ordinary senses. The nervous system, in this context, operates as a superconductor of consciousness. In the third dimension, consciousness emerges, going on a journey toward awakening or self-realization. Within the confines of 3D, human consciousness fixates primarily on its physical existence, often estranged from its spiritual essence. The transcendence from the third dimension to higher states of consciousness constitutes what is commonly recognized as spiritual transcendence. In this process, one ascends beyond the physical aspects, attaining an awareness of the non-material facets of their being. The fifth dimension marks the gateway into higher spiritual dimensions, guiding individuals back to the source. It exists as a plane of consciousness, a perceived reality, a spectrum of frequencies and a state of being resonating at a higher frequency than the third dimension, where the majority of humanity perceives reality. The fifth dimension introduces a new level of awareness. In the third dimension, reality is often distorted, fostering a sense of separation from the unified field of consciousness. Illusory experiences such as fear, separation, and scarcity appear genuine in this dimension, giving rise to reactive emotions like shame, anger, sadness, guilt, and other low-frequency responses to life circumstances. As our planet Earth enters a new sky, it is undergoing a transition into the frequencies of the fifth dimension through its ascension. This transition extends beyond Earth alone. It is accessible to all human beings inhabiting the planet. Consequently, socio-political systems rooted in the values of the third dimension are losing their grip and popularity on our society. What once seemed like a functional and reasonable system to the masses is now perceived as unjust, outdated, and inadequate in serving the well-being of humanity. As a growing number of people make it into the fifth dimension, the majority discover fluctuation in emotions between the third and fifth dimensions. They might encounter times of empathy, bliss, gratitude, and forgiveness towards themselves and others. However, this is also intertwined with phases of fear, shame, frustration, and guilt as the body works to relinquish the residual belief systems of the 3D world. For most, the transition from 3D to 5D is not a straightforward trajectory, but a fluctuating state of being. Glimpses of the 5D frequencies, emotions, thoughts, and actions may be encountered, only to be lost. When access to these higher dimensional aspects dissipates, reverting to the lower frequencies, emotions, thoughts, and actions of 3D consciousness indicates a return to the 3D state. Now let's delve into the fourth dimension, which functions as an elevator, capable of elevating or descending our consciousness. The fourth dimension intertwines us with thoughts and emotions, providing a gateway to either the fifth dimension or a return to the third dimension. The key to accessing the fourth dimension requires a clear thought, coupled with a potent emotion. When the mind visualizes a clear thought, this often is accompanied by an emotion. The frequency of the fourth dimension is entered through the gateway of the heart. Our heart is like a big magnet. If the thought carries negativity, leading to a low-frequency emotion like fear or anger, a descent into the 3D state occurs. Conversely, if the thought is positive, generating a high-frequency emotion such as joy or gratitude, elevation to the 5D state ensues. The fourth dimension endows us with the gift of choice and free will. In this dimension, we have the opportunity to exercise choice at the exact moment we conceive a thought and experience its associated emotions. In the realm of 4D consciousness, as we grasp the idea that we have the power to choose our thoughts, we recognize we have the ability to opt for alternative, more fulfilling, and high vibrational thoughts. This newfound awareness empowers us to live a more elevated life and engage in the elevator ride up to the fifth dimension. Encountering situations that trigger emotional responses is a common occurrence in our daily life. This provides us ample opportunities to implement this choice. When you are upset by someone, observing the emotional trigger allows for a shift in the interpretation of the situation, person, or encounter towards something positive and empowering. Although it may demand focus and initially involve a degree of artificiality at first, there's no need for concern. After all, our reality is fundamentally an illusion, and within this illusion, we can choose to create an experience that feels good and positive rather than bad and negative. Shifting attention away from a negative thought and redirecting it toward an empowering interpretation leads to a noticeable change in emotional response. This conscious emotional shift acts as a transformative force, turning the downward-going elevator triggered by negativity into an upward-going elevator that raises emotional frequencies. Nurturing these higher emotional frequencies through consistent practice facilitates a more grounded and confident being. Here's a straightforward approach to practicing this technique. 1. Identify the root of the trigger, eliciting a negative response. 2. Choose a high-frequency response instead of automatically reacting negatively. 3. Embrace and experience the positive shift in your emotional state. If the prospect of experiencing life through the lens of 5D intrigues you, consider incorporating this practice into your life today. Like any skill, mastering this technique requires determination and a commitment to continuous practice. As always, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you all are taking care of yourselves. Peace, love, and prosperity to all beings of planet Earth.